The box is full. Let's empty it.
Speed round, loudly.
Idiom. To start a conversation with a stranger.
Break the ice.
It is raining heavily. One word.
Pouring.
How was your weekend? Did you blank up to anything?
Get up to.
A weekend with no plans, just relaxing.
Low key.
A room full of people.
Packed.
The train is late again. Blank. Expressing annoyance.
Typical.
How are you? Answer, can't blank.
Complain.
To delay someone. I don't want to blank you up.
Hold.
Topics like politics and money are
Taboo.
grammar. It's nice today. Blanket.
Isn't it?
Intonation. For agreement, does the voice go up or down?
Down.
You guys are master conversationalists.
No more awkward silences.
Now the speaking challenge. Step 1, pause the video. Step 2, answer this question out loud. Imagine you are in an elevator with me. Break the ice.
Example. Busy day, isn't it? This elevator is slow, isn't it?
Step 3, write exactly what you said in the comments.
Ready? Pause in 3, 2, 1, go.
Did you do it? Did you talk about the weather?
Of course they did. It is the classic opener.
Thanks for chatting with us today.
We'd better get going.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to English Lifestyle. I hope you are having a lovely, wonderful, and chatty day today.
Hi everyone, I am having a great day. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and I am feeling very social.
That is good to hear, Sam, because today we are talking about something that terrifies many students. We are talking about small talk.
Small talk, the art of talking about absolutely nothing, to avoid the awkward silence.
It sounds easy, right? Talking about nothing, but it is actually a very high-level skill. It is the social glue of the English language.
Exactly. If you are in an elevator with your boss, you can't just stand there staring at the floor. That is weird. You have to say something.
Or if you are waiting for a bus next to a stranger, or standing in line for coffee. These are small talk moments.
Many students hate this. They think, why do I have to talk about the rain? It is boring. I want to talk about philosophy.
I understand. In some cultures, silence is comfortable. But in the UK, the USA, Canada, and Australia, silence with a stranger is often seen as awkward or even rude. Small talk shows that you are friendly, safe, and polite.
So we are going to teach you how to survive these moments. We will give you the scripts for the weather, the weekend, the office, and social parties.
And crucially, we will teach you how to escape. Because the only thing worse than starting small talk is being stuck in small talk forever.
You need an exit strategy. You need to say, right, I'd better get going without offending anyone.
So here is our massive roadmap for this conversational masterclass.
Listen closely to the agenda.
By the end of this video, you will be able to break the ice with strangers, talk about the weather like a native, discuss your weekend plans, Friday versus Monday, handle waiting in line, the queue, and use tag questions to keep the ball rolling.
We are going to teach you idioms like chit-chat, shoot the breeze, and same old, same old.
And we're using our special method, context first. We will let you listen to our awkward conversations before we explain the vocabulary.
So turn to the person next to you, give them a polite nod, and hit that subscribe button.
And hit the like button if you've ever hidden in a bathroom to avoid talking to someone.
I have definitely done that.
Let's get started. Part 1, the weather, the universal opener.
The weather. It is a cliche for a reason. Why do we talk about it so much?
Because it is the only thing we share. I don't know your politics, I don't know your family, but we are both standing in the same rain. It is a shared experience.
Especially in the UK, where the weather changes every 5 minutes. It is endless entertainment.
In this first scene, Sam and Rose are waiting at a bus stop. It is a gray day. Listen for chilly, pouring, miserable, and break the ice. Role play scene 1, context.
Shh. Brr.
It's a bit chilly today, isn't it?
It certainly is. I wish I had brought a warmer coat. I didn't check the forecast.
Me neither. And look at those dark clouds. It looks like it's going to rain later. Actually, I think it's already spitting. Oh wait, No, now it's pouring.
Great, just my luck. I forgot my umbrella. Typical English weather, right? It's absolutely miserable.
At least it's good for the plants. My garden needs it.
That's a positive way to look at it. By the way, I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam. I'm Rose. Nice to meet you.
Stop and teach one. See, we bonded over our shared suffering.
Shared suffering is the basis of British friendship. Let's look at the vocabulary. First, break the ice.
To break the ice. This idiom means to say or do something to relieve tension and start a social interaction. Small talk is an icebreaker.
Then Sam said it was chilly.
Chilly. A little bit cold. Not freezing, 0 degrees, just uncomfortable, 10 degrees. It's a bit chilly in here. Can we close the window?
Then I said it was pouring.
Pouring. Raining very heavily. It's pouring down. Please stop saying it is raining cats and dogs. Nobody says that anymore. Just say it's pouring.
Or it's bucketing down. UK slang.
Then Sam called the weather miserable.
Miserable. We use this to describe bad, gray, wet, depressing weather. What a miserable day.
And notice the grammar Sam used. It's chilly, isn't it?
That is a tag question. We will study those deeply in part 7. But for now, just remember, it invites the other person to agree.
Part 2. The weekend. The office staple.
If you are at work, the weather is okay, but the weekend is the king of topics.
But the question changes depending on the day. On Friday, you ask, any plans for the weekend? Future. On Monday, you ask, how was your weekend? Past.
In this scene, it is Monday morning at the coffee machine. Listen for get up to, low-key, hectic, and same old, same old.
Roleplay scene 2. Context.
Morning, Sam. How was your weekend? Did you get up to anything nice?
Hey, Rose. It was good, thanks. Pretty low-key. I was so tired from last week, I just watched some movies and caught up on sleep. What about you?
Oh, mine was the opposite. It was totally hectic.
Really? What did you do?
I went to my nephew's birthday party on Saturday, and then I had to help my sister move house on Sunday, lifting boxes all day.
Ouch, that sounds exhausting. You didn't rest at all.
No, I feel like I need another weekend to recover from my weekend.
I know that feeling. So are you ready for the week ahead?
Not really. Just the same old, same old. But hey, at least a coffee is fresh.
Stop and teach too. I need a weekend to recover from my weekend. That is the story of adult life.
It is. Let's analyze the phrases. First, the question, what did you get up to?
Get up to. A very common phrasal verb meaning do. What did you get up to equals what did you do? Did you get up to much equals did you do many things?
Then Sam said his weekend was low-key.
Low-key. This is a great adjective. It means relaxed, quiet, and not flashy. I want a low-key birthday dinner. It implies no stress.
Then I said mine was hectic.
Hectic. Very busy, fast, and slightly chaotic. Work has been hectic lately. The airport was hectic.
And finally, the phrase for boring life. Same old, same old.
Same old, same old. This is a set phrase. It means nothing has changed, everything is normal/boring. Use this when you have no exciting news to report. How is work?
Oh, same old, same old.
So was your weekend low-key or hectic? Tell us in the comments. Part 3. The commute and the queue. Cultural specifics.
Now, let's talk about a specific situation, waiting.
Waiting for a bus. Waiting for coffee. Waiting in line at the post office.
In Britain, this is a sacred ritual. We love a queue, but sometimes something annoying happens, a delay, and this is the perfect time for small talk.
We call this bonding over a common enemy. The enemy is the delay.
In this scene, Sam and Rose are waiting for a train that is late. Listen for running late, typical, nightmare, and packed.
Roleplay scene 3. Context.
It's late again, isn't it?
Yeah, the sign says delayed by 20 minutes. Typical.
Honestly, this train service is getting worse. It's a nightmare trying to get to work on time.
Tell me about it. Yesterday it was canceled completely. I had to take the bus.
Oh no, was the bus busy?
Busy? It was absolutely packed. I was crushed against the window like a sardine.
That sounds awful. Well, at least it's not raining today.
Small mercies. Oh, look, here it comes finally. Stop and teach 3. We love complaining.
Complaining is a national sport in the UK. If you complain about the train, you make friends. Let's look at the words. First, typical.
Typical. When something bad happens, but it happens often, we say typical. It expresses annoyance, but acceptance. The The train is late? Typical.
Then I called it a nightmare.
A nightmare. Obviously, this means a bad dream, but in conversation, we use it for any annoying or difficult situation. The traffic was a nightmare. My boss is a nightmare.
Then Sam said the bus was packed.
Packed. Extremely crowded. Full of people. The bar was packed.
And the phrase running late.
Running late. This means being behind schedule. The train is running late. I am running late.
So next time the train is late, turn to your neighbor and say, typical, isn't it?
Part 3.5. The Rapid Phrase Builder. Welcome to the Rapid Phrase Builder.
This is our high-speed learning section. I will give the definition and Sam will say the phrase. Repeat after Sam.
Let's chat.
How's it going?
Casual way to say, how are you? How's it going?
Can't complain.
Answer meaning, I am fine. Life is okay. Can't complain.
It's turned out nice again.
Comment on good weather. Classic British. It's turned out nice again.
What brings you here?
Asking why someone is off this event. What brings you here?
Long time no see.
Greeting someone you haven't seen in a while. Long time no see.
How's business?
Asking about someone's work success. How's business?
Any plans for the summer?
Asking about future vacations. Any plans for the summer?
You look familiar.
I think I have seen you before. You look familiar.
Fancy seeing you here.
Surprise at meeting someone unexpectedly. Fancy seeing you here.
Crazy weather, huh?
Comment on the strange or bad weather. Crazy weather, huh?
Excellent. Fancy seeing you here is great when you bump into a friend in a supermarket or on the street.
Or when you bump into your teacher at the nightclub. Fancy seeing you here, Professor.
That would be awkward.
Part 4. Surroundings, parties and events.
What if you aren't waiting for a train? What if you are at a nice event, like a party or a conference?
In this situation, talk about the environment, the food, the music, the venue.
In this scene, Sam and Rose are at a corporate party. It is a bit boring. Listen for spread, atmosphere, and do you know many people here?
Roleplay Scene 4. Context. Nice venue, isn't it?
Yes, it is very fancy. The chandeliers are beautiful.
Have you tried the food? The spread looks amazing.
I tried the shrimp. It's delicious. But I'm staying away from the wine. I have to drive.
Sensible. So, do you know many people here?
Not really, just my boss. I feel a bit out of place. What about you?
I know a few people from the marketing team, but honestly, I'm just here for the free food.
Fair enough. I'm Rose, by the way.
I'm Sam. Nice to meet you, Rose. Do you work in the city? Stop and teach 4. I'm just here for the free food. Honesty is the best policy.
Sometimes honesty is funny. Let's look at the words. First, the spread.
The spread. This refers to a large selection of food laid out on a table, a buffet. Look at that impressive spread.
Then Sam asked, do you know many people here?
This is the perfect question to ask someone who looks lonely or shy. It gives them a chance to explain their connection to the event.
And I said, I feel out of place.
Out of place. This means you feel uncomfortable because you don't belong there. Maybe you are underdressed or you don't know anyone.
If someone says they feel out of place, be nice to them. Introduce them to people.
Part 5. The exit. How to escape.
This is the most important skill. You started the conversation, you chatted about the rain, but now you want to leave.
You can't just run away. That is rude. You need an exit strategy.
The key is to give a reason, even a fake one, and a future wish. In this scene, Sam is stuck talking to a very boring person. He needs to escape. Listen for better get going, hold you up, and catch you later.
Roleplay Scene 5. Context.
And then my cat learned how to open the fridge, and he ate the butter.
Wow, that is a smart cat, Rose.
And then the next day, he opened the cupboard.
Listen, Rose, I'd love to hear more, but I really better get going. I have a meeting starting in 10 minutes.
Oh, of course. I don't want to hold you up.
It was great catching up. Let's grab coffee soon, okay?
Definitely. Go to your meeting.
Thanks. Catch you later. Phew, I escaped the cat story.
You did it perfectly. Let's look at the phrases. First, I'd better get going.
I'd better get going. Short for I had better. This means I need to leave now. It is firm but polite. It implies outside pressure, time, work.
Then Sam said, I don't want to hold you up.
Hold you up. This means delay you. This is a psychological trick. You are pretending that you are leaving to help them. I know you are busy. I won't hold you up.
And the future promise? Let's grab coffee soon.
Let's grab coffee soon. Warning, this is often just a polite phrase. It doesn't always mean you will actually do it. It just means I like you and I want to end this conversation on a positive note.
Part 7. Taboo Topics. The no-go zone. Before we finish, we must talk about what not to say.
In some cultures, it is normal to ask, how much money do you make? Or why aren't you married?
In English-speaking cultures, this is taboo. It is rude.
The no-go zone includes money, salary, rent cost, politics, who did you vote for, religion, do you believe in God, age, especially asking a woman over 30, health, unless they mention it first.
Instead, use the Ford method. F. Family. General questions. Do you have siblings? Not, why no kids? O. Occupation. Work. R. Recreation. Hobbies, TV, sports. D. Dreams. Travel, goals, keep it light.
Stick to Ford, avoid the no-go zone, and you will be safe.
Part 7. Grammar goal. Tag questions and intonation.
We saw this throughout the video. Tag questions are the engine of small talk.
Structure. Positive statement plus negative tag. It is cold, isn't it? You are Sam, aren't you?
Structure. Negative statement plus positive tag. It isn't raining, is it? You don't like coffee, do you?
But the secret is intonation. If you know the answer and just want agreement, small talk, your voice goes down. It's cold, isn't it? Down.
If you don't know the answer, real question, your voice goes up. You're Sam, aren't you? Up.
For breaking the ice, usually go down. We want to create harmony and agreement. Part 8. The vocabulary box.
Let's review all these chatty words in the vocabulary box.
Slow and clear. I say the word, Rose gives the definition.
Small talk. Definition. Polite conversation about unimportant things.
Break the ice. Definition. To start a conversation to reduce tension.
Chilly. Definition. A little bit cold.
Pouring. Definition. Raining very heavily.
Get up to. Definition. Phrasal verb meaning to do in the past.
Low key. Definition. Relaxed, quiet, not busy.
Hectic. Definition. Very busy and chaotic.
Same old, same old. Definition. Nothing new has happened.
Typical. Definition. Annoying but expected. Used for complaints.
Running late. Definition. Behind schedule.
Packed. Definition. Very crowded with people.
Spread. Definition. A large selection of food on a table.
Out of place. Definition. Feeling uncomfortable or like you don't belong.
Can't complain. Definition. I am fine. Life is okay.
I'd better get going. Definition. A polite phrase to leave a conversation.
Hold you up. Definition. To delay someone.
Taboo. Definition. A topic forbidden by social custom.